my 4,000 10 years ago. And now I got to pay again $16,000 on taxes for these specials for 25 years. I'm 64 years old. This is not fair.
A Fargo homeowner was one of several to express displeasure with the money he has to pay for work in his neighborhood. It's another example of the frustration that many people are having with special assessments. In this case, it's dollars that homeowners living near the downtown area are having to pay for water main replacement. Established areas of Fargo can be in need of upgrades to their sidewalks, streets, and piping. But when the assessments come out, so do the residents.
So how we're getting $16,000 on average in special assessments when the grant was supposed to pay for the entire pipe and everything that needs to be done for that, I didn't see anything else happening.
And in this case, the specific assessments were put on hold until the city meets with the neighborhood residents to explain what the assessments are all about. Another area of concern, especially for home buyers, is the special assessments tied to new homes. Commissioner Tony Gehrig brought up the matter tonight. That led to leaders calling for upcoming brown bag discussions so all sides can discuss whether changes need to be made to the way of Fargo handles the cost of special assessments. And coming up after whether NDSU remembers a young woman's life lost too soon. Plus, we have an update on a whistleblower story we brought you earlier today involving a Minnesota nursing home. But first, Hatch, we woke up to frigid temps this morning, Is it the same recipe for tonight?
Even worse recipe if you don't like cold temperatures. We're on our way down to freezing temperatures across most of our viewing area as we go through the overnight hours. If you've not yet covered up or brought in those plants, now would be a good time to do so. Presently, temperatures falling rapidly. Look at this, already 38 degrees in the FM area. You can see your breath out there, and west wind only 5 miles per hour. Moorhead a degree warmer at 39. And here's a look across the region. Look at this. Well below freezing in Langdon at 27 already. 34s across the Interstate 94 corridor in eastern North Dakota. A lot of upper 30s across Lakes Country. Clouds clearing here later, so holding on to those temperatures just a little bit. 34 in Wadena. And we're on our way down, down, down. Clouds clearing out, showers exiting the Twin Cities, and still a few raindrops in far southern portions of Minnesota. As we take a look at the big picture, it snowed for the better part of the day in portions of the high country of Colorado and into northern New Mexico for today. Strong thunderstorms in southeast Kansas. Here's a look at your forecast. Everyone is in a freeze warning as we go through the overnight hours. Wind light and variable, skies clear, and setting things into motion overnight. We're going to see temperatures dip down into the 20s where they already are. Mid and low 20s possible in Langdon briefly. And then as we go through the morning hours, we will be climbing out of these frigid start your day temperatures pretty quickly thanks to clear skies. So it'll be cold but clear and crisp to start your Tuesday morning. Wind will be from the south at around 5 to 15 miles per hour, and the noon hour will still be on the cool side of things, but the afternoon looks actually pretty delightful. We'll see temperatures much warmer than today. When we topped out in the low 50s, we're going to see near 60-degree readings as we go through our afternoon. And out in Lakes Country, a lot of 50s out there, and the wind only 5 to 15 miles per hour. The evening looks quiet for any of your outdoor plans there, maybe to catch up on some leaf picking up. All right, your planning forecast, hour by hour style, 29 at the bus stop in the morning. Pretty frigid for the kids. Slow warming temperatures, and we'll spend our afternoon in the mid to upper 50s, and we'll kiss 60 degrees in the afternoon, and temperatures fall off fairly quickly once again tomorrow night after sunset. Here's a look at where we'll have the best chance at 60-degree weather. From the Red River Valley and points west, where you see the banana colors there, yellow. Greens means more 50s are more likely for eastern counties to go through your Tuesday. All right, your planning forecast on Wednesday, more of the same. Seasonable temperatures and morning lows not quite as cold in Fargo, but we'll still have some areas of freezing conditions to start your day. Then Thursday, gusty winds push in, a few clouds as well, but it'll be mild, 65 to 70 for many here in the Southern Valley. And as we go through the weekend, it gets cool again. In fact, we'll see quite a bit of gray Saturday and Sunday. Spotty showers mainly on the south side of things to go through your Sunday, and Monday back to 60 degrees. So a little bit of a temperature roller coaster there. Tonight, though, the only night of freezing temperatures or colder in Fargo that we're expecting the next 7 days.
Which is good news.
That is, because I don't know if I want freezing every morning.
No, I know I don't.
Right.
Thanks, Hutch. Well, lifted up by balloons and donned in pink. Tonight, dozens of students, loved ones, and family are joining together to remember Ellie Helm, the 21-year-old that died 1 week ago in an ATV accident. Members of the Kappa Delta sorority hosted the vigil. It's happening right now at Churchill Field on campus to honor Ellie. Some of her closest friends shared memories of the former Bison cheerleader. Here's what her roommate had to say about her.
I believe that Ellie knew we were strong enough to get through this, and she knew in the time of tragedy we would all come together to mourn our loss, but also to celebrate her life.
Helm was a sophomore majoring in psychology. President Dean Brashani said as tradition, the school will provide care and support to everyone affected by her loss. There's been a noticeable uptick in students acting inappropriately to a point of being aggressive. That's why Fargo schools are using a new strategy this year. There are 14 staff members focusing on teaching students to act appropriately to prevent hostile or violent actions. Fargo School Superintendent Jeff Schatz says the district is faced with new challenges. More students are dealing with homelessness, poverty, and a variety of special needs.
They're far more escalated than what we've dealt with in the past. And so there are times when somebody might get hurt because of that in trying to manage or deal with that behavior. And so this is our response to try to better deal with that, to better understand it, to have better training. And so that's what we're doing.
Dr. Schatz adds the cost for implementing this approach is around $600,000 and will be paid for by taking dollars from other programs. And we're getting new information tonight about a story out of the Northern Valley that we first brought you earlier. The word is in now. Families have until December 8th to get their loved ones out of the retirement home that is shutting its doors for good. Concerned family members showed up at a meeting at the Good Samaritan Society in Clearbrook, Minnesota, to hear they have 60 days to find other living arrangements or they're out on their own. Officials at the assisted living facility would not comment today, but families there say the company wasn't interested in finding solutions to building a code violation. Families say there's around 40 people living there, and all of the surrounding facilities are full and have long waiting lists.
The gal there, she said, I hate to chuckle, she said, but she said, we're full. And she said, our waiting list, she said, I've never seen a list this long.
The problem hits the Acri family especially hard. They donated the land to build the retirement home, and now they have to find a new place for one of their family members to live. And we heard about this story because of you. So if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call us on our whistleblower hotline. That number is 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. North Dakota County leaders are working on the implementation of medical marijuana. Legal advisors spoke about the future of medical marijuana in the state before the North Dakota Association of Counties. Many also spoke about public complaints in regards to the implementation taking too long.
Marijuana is here to stay. The voters approved it overwhelmingly, and the legislature also approved that with some changes. But I think you're going to see an increased use, and that will be a burden for some of the regulatory agencies like counties to figure out how to implement that the safest way possible.
Medical marijuana remains illegal under federal law. However, the state legislature is working on regulations for safe consumption for qualified people within the state. And the Minnesota State Fire Marshal is investigating what caused a popular restaurant and bar to go up in flames earlier this morning. Firefighters were called out around 3 a.m. to Johnny Ringo's in Spring Valley. It's just south of Rochester in western Minnesota. Authorities had to evacuate nearby apartments, including those who live above the restaurant. 5 area fire departments responded to fight the blaze. The cause is still unknown, but may have originated in the south part of the building where the fire was hotter. Firefighters say the building is a total loss. North Dakota will not receive a presidential major disaster declaration for the recent drought. FEMA denied the request that was submitted back in August. And at that time, nearly 94% of the state was in some sort of drought. But since then, drought conditions have improved slightly due to some rainfall. Governor Doug Burgum called the recent request a long shot, considering the number of natural disasters affecting our nation. 60% of North Dakota is still in some sort of drought. And the Minnesota State Patrol is alerting people about school bus safety after a 6th grader is nearly hit by a truck. Take a look. The girl is leaving the school bus and then suddenly stops in the middle of the road before a black pickup truck rushes by. Officials say the girl in the video could have been seriously injured or even killed by the driver, who was then later caught and charged in the case. In Minnesota, motorists must stop at least 20 feet from a school bus that is displaying red flashing lights, as that indicates that students are getting on or off of the bus. As the death toll rises, dangerous wildfires continue to burn in Napa, California. We've got more on that situation still ahead tonight.